vulnerability detected. I love the fact that the facilitator goes extra mile, both on-site and off-site, to impart knowledge into us. And I'm grateful to LSCTF, USCDF, Innkeeper, and Innkeeper in training affiliate for the opportunity of learning cybersecurity for free. Okiola Adib is my name, and I'm an ethical hacker.
Prior to the past 10 weeks, I had zero knowledge about programming with Python and Power BI. But right now, I can effectively clean and interpret data with Python, Excel, and Power BI. With these skills, I can assist businesses to eliminate errors, reduce losses, and maximize profits. My name is Lovely Ifunanya for the Data Analyst Training. I am mostly grateful to LSCTF and USCDF for this scholarship granted to me in partnership with Gear and its training affiliate, Innkeeper. I really love that the facilitators were excellent at ensuring we all understood the topic before going on to the next. It was a really wonderful experience.
Hello, my name is Gideon John Pierce, and I'm a student of web development. I'm privileged to have gotten a scholarship from USADF, LSATF, and in partnership with Gear and Innkeeper as a training athlete. It's been a wonderful experience learning here at Innkeeper, and in the space of 10 weeks, I've been exposed to a lot of different technological skills like JavaScript, Bootstrap, React, Node.js, and I've been able to create a fully functional website. During the training, I also started about the entrepreneurship classes because it showed me how to transform my ideas into creative startups. Watch out for me, I'm ready to make an impact in the tech ecosystem.
My name is Ovede Gloria, a student of cloud computing. I became curious about cloud computing because my uncle was constantly talking about how we are saved files on cloud. Luckily for me, I got a scholarship from LSCTF USADF in partnership with Gear and its training affiliate Innkeeper for a duration of 10 weeks. I'm excited about the fact that in 10 weeks, I've been able to learn both the basics and fundamental of cloud computing. I can now use Azure Active Directory, create virtual machines, and build firewalls. Being someone with no background in tech, this training has really built my confidence, being the only girl in the midst of guys. And I think this should encourage other girls to be in tech and not feel intimidated.
Good evening. Can anyone hear me?
Good evening, Funke. Good evening.
Please, every other person should mute their mic, please. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another amazing session with us right here. Today is the last day of the info session tagged Kickstart Your Career in Tech and Become Globally Valuable. We started since August 1st. We kick off the month with this info session. Thank you to everyone that's been joining since day one. Thank you for day one. Thank you for day 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally day 6. Thank you to all of our facilitators too. Thank you for taking the time to come on board and share 1 or 2 things with us regarding tech. So today is going to be the last day, like I said before, and we're going to have one of our amazing facilitators come on board and share with us basic things you need to know regards data analysis. But before we bring her on board, she's a lady. A lady started it, and a lady is going to end it. I like that. The future is female. Now I'm trying to be a feminist right here, but I'm just trying to compliment all of the women out there doing great things, especially women in tech, not brain tech, especially women in tech. And we are coming out strong. The bros in the house, don't worry. We'll get there. Okay, for tonight, I'm gonna call upon our facilitator real quick so we can just go back and do whatever we are doing. But always have it in mind that Innkeeper is a place for you to come and kickstart your tech career. Is either digital marketing, front end web developing, back end, customer sales experience. And I really, really enjoyed all of the facilitators that came on board to teach us one or two things. That if I should just go back to class and take digital marketing course all over again. Maybe I'll just that one of these days. And the other class I really enjoyed, the other session I really enjoyed is the UI UX products management. I'm like, yeah, I'll not change my mind like this and just dive into UI UX. So I don't know. There's still time. There's still time. Okay, so quickly, let's just go right into what we have for you today. Coming on board tonight is an expert data analyst who is adept in a number of programs, including Power BI, Python, and Excel. She has extensive expertise in statistics and strong technical and analytical abilities. She also has a passion for positively influencing knowledge, which inspired her to pursue a career as a data analytics trainer, where she helped over 40 people go from zero to hero in the field. She's actively driving growth at 8th Gear with talent. Please welcome on board Ifunanya Omanukwe. Ifunanya, if you are there, we are ready to have you on board.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Ifunanya. First of all, did I get your surname right?
No, but you're forgiven.
I am so sorry about that.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, Funke.
Good to have you here. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. Basically, we are going to talk about data analysis and how we can start a career in data analysis and what data analysis is just about and fields where data analysis is used. So I hope everyone can hear me, please.
Yes, we can.
Can everyone hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so I would like to share my screen now. So I would like to share my screen now. I can't share it. Please, Funke, can you help me with that? Okay.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Yes. Can you see my screen already?
Yes,
Can you all see
yes.
my screen? Okay.
Yes,
okay,
we can.
Good. Okay, so welcome everybody. So today we're going to talk about, like I said, what data analysis is all about, different aspects of data analysis and what the industries where we use data analysis. So first of all, data analysis is, let me start with, I just want to break it down first of all. When people hear data analysis, most of them think that, okay, we are dealing with large numbers, and then though we deal with large numbers, but they feel like it's all about calculation, you have to be very good at maths and everything. But basically, I want to say that everybody does data analysis. What do I mean by that? Okay, in as much as you're living and you're breathing and you're existing, you have at one point in time done data analysis. Okay, let's take for example, I want to go to the market now and I want to get, let's say, a bag of rice. So before going to the market, I'm not just going to say, okay, definitely, because I don't want to spend too much money. Bag of rice must be 15,000 naira. Then you go to the market with 15,000 naira. It doesn't work that way. First of all, we must have maybe estimated what was the price of bag of rice as at maybe 2 months ago, 1 month ago, right? And let's say if the bag of rice is like 15,000 now, I would just say, okay, let me just budget like maybe 20,000, 25,000. When I get to the market, it may be more or it may be less. So as at that point, you've done data analysis, right? So you've used the data you've gathered from past occurrences to, predict the future. I'll give another example. Every one of us at one point, even if you say you don't go to market, this one you must have done it. So if you've gone to, most of us here must have maybe finished your university or you're in school. Before you went to school, you didn't just say you just want to go to school, right? You must have had or seen somebody that is you emulate and want to be like. If it's medicine you want to study, back then medicine was like the craze. Everybody wanted to do medicine or pharmacy. So you must have seen, okay, these guys, I've heard from past data that, okay, the guys in pharmacy, they are earning a lot. Although some people will say passion, yes, I know money is also a motivating factor. So I must have said, okay, I noticed that most pharmacist guys, they earn a lot of money. Let me go into pharmacy field, right? Then you check out how many years does the course take, right? How much do I need? And all of that. So you've done data analysis, right? You've done data analysis, give or take. If ASU wants to strike, let's say 5 to 6 years, you must have completed your course. So you've looked at people in the past who have done that course and they've done well for themselves, and then you want to pursue it. So that's data analysis. So data analysis is just basically the process of just collecting data, cleaning it, and analyzing it to draw out meaningful, actionable insights that can help you, make informed decisions. So that's basically what data analysis is all about. So, and like I said, data is everywhere. It's not just numbers. Most of what things think that data is just numbers, right? But data is not just numbers. It can be anything. It can be from words in a book, content of a spreadsheet. What I mean by spreadsheet, content of a spreadsheet, your Excel. Yes, that's what we call spreadsheets. It can be pictures, can be videos, and many other things. So data is everywhere. And I know most of you have heard data analysis or it's like it's everywhere now because of the way people talk about data analysis, how much they earn. Yes, it's one of the hottest job roles now. It is actually, I kid you not, it is one of the hottest job roles. Please can everybody hear me at one point? Let me know if you can all hear. Please, can someone confirm if they can hear me?
We can hear you. It seems the network from your end is somehow.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can everybody hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure. Yeah. This is now I was asked sometime last week I was training and I was asked that why is it that data analysis is everywhere? Why is it that people are just talking about data? And it's not because data has not been in existence before. No, it's just that people now know, or businesses now know, the importance of data in their business. They now know that to be at the top of the market or to beat your competitors, you have to have data that you can use, not just guesswork, not just, I feel like this strategy will work. When you have data, you can actually make decisions from facts. So that's one of the reasons. Second reason now is like because of the way the internet has exploded over the years, right? Let's say 10 years down the line, most of us we're using 310, we're using just phones without internet, but recently internet has blown up, so everybody companies gather a lot of information online. So it has made data analytics job very popular because they've discovered that okay, we can actually beat our competitors when we have information that can help us design our product better, know our data doors. So that's one of the reasons why okay. So we've all, because I used to tell people that data analytics is one can be like
If Naya is not on the call right now, I think she'll reconnect. Our network is pretty bad. She'll reconnect. Please kindly stay on the call. While we wait for her to reconnect, remember to follow Innkeeper on all social media platforms. On Instagram, innkeeper.work __, on LinkedIn, innkeeper.work, Twitter, innkeeper.work. I'll take that again. Instagram, innkeeper.work __, on LinkedIn, innkeeper.work, on Twitter, innkeeper.work. Remember to share this platform with your friends and family, whoever is interested in kickstarting a tech career, because tech is the language right now that everyone is speaking. I think Ifunanya is back. Ifunanya. Hello, Ifunanya. Are you ready to take over?
I guess she's muted. She should unmute.
Ifunanya, kindly
can you hear
unmute
me
your
now?
mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So so sorry about that. The network was actually acting up. So like I was saying that data is actually the new oil, right? And I explained earlier on because now we have use of internet, like everybody is on the internet. So you can actually from Nigeria reach customers that are on a normal wouldn't be within your market. So data has grown, and if used effectively can help your business achieve their metrics, can help your business blow up. Let me put it that way. So before now, if you have let's say if you have a company, you'll be limited, right? You'll be limited to the fact that okay, graphical this thing you can maybe sell to mostly people around your area in Nigeria. But now you have somebody from Nigeria, other things from outside. So that's what the internet has done. And even Cisco has said that data is growing exponentially. What I mean by exponentially is it's not 2 times 2 now, 4. It's actually 2 raised to the power of 2. So if this year you have like 10 gig of data, by next year you have like 100 gig. So it's growing exponentially. Yeah. So there are different rules in data analysis. There are different rules actually. So the most common one that most people know is data analyst, right? Because it's like the entry level of, let me say, just the data field actually. So what do you need? Most people think that for you to enter into this field, you have to be a guru, you have to be good with numbers. I'm not saying that you don't have to be good with numbers, but I basically think that if you've never been cheated in the market before, like if you can calculate your change rightly, then why not? You can go into data analysis. Because every one of us, like I've said before, as at one point in our life, done data analysis. So as a data analyst, you don't really need so much of programming. Yes, I've heard people say, okay, I want to go into tech, but I don't really want to program. I don't want to code, right? Yes, you have to code, but as at being a data analyst, you won't do much of coding actually. So let's get right into it. So for a data engineer, so what they basically do is help gather data. So you have a company, let me take for example Twitter now. Twitter in a day they have millions of tweets, right? So, and there's somewhere those tweets will go into, and they will need someone to gather it, right? Or even in a company where you have different departments, so each of them are generating data. Somebody will have to gather the data so that when there is need for that data, you don't start saying, when you ask Mr. B in the customer care, say, I don't even know. It was the other lady that was here before. So we don't know where it is and everything. So there's need for a data engineer, someone who controls the flow of data, who build data pipelines and storage system, and maintain the assets generally of data. So they are basically focused on data collection, data storage. That's what they basically do. They are just focused on data collection, data storage. And we know that there are some companies that actually sell data, right? So let's take, for example, I would use when I was in school, I wanted to write a project and I needed data, right? I was writing a project on, I think it was tuberculosis or something. I needed data so online, I wasn't really seeing the data I wanted. So I went to, I think it was Loot then. Yeah, I went to Loot. And in fact, I ended up changing my project topic. So what I'm saying is that there's the data engineer guys, they just collect data, they store it, they can help you retrieve data. In fact, they just control the flow of data in an organization, like maintain the structured everything. You don't have to look for you don't have to look for this particular data in Sokoto. It's somewhere somebody manages the assets, manages the storage, manages everything. So it's seamless. When you want to get data for this, it's very easy to get access to it and know where it is. So that's what the data engineer guys do. So what are the tools they need? They actually need SQL, very important, because you want to extract, you want to call up data from a database. So you need SQL, you need Java, you need Java, Scala, or Python, whichever one. So that's to just basically process data. And you also need your shell, just to write command lines, automate and run data. Then you need to know, because we are talking about storage, right? And you know nowadays, we store data in the cloud. So as a data engineer, if you're dealing with storage, you need to know a little bit of cloud computing. That's your Google Cloud Form, just to help store and ingest large amount of data. Because if you are a company like Google, you can't be using your Google Drive space to store data. It's a bit so small. So you need cloud. You need a cloud to store such large amount of data. So what the next role will be data analyst, the data analysis that we're talking about now. So basically, what a data analyst does is just to they look at past data, right? So if I'm a company now, I've been selling particular products. So I just know that I'm selling, right? I don't really know I can't really tell some things from my data. Like I remember there was actually a company's data we looked at. So they produce different categories of things. And from their revenue, it looks like they are really selling a particular product, which was actually phones. It was as if they were selling phones compared to the revenue they generated from others. Well, so what we did was we looked at it, and when when we explored that data and tried to get insight from data, we found out that it was not actually the phones that were making profit the more. It was something very little, because sometimes your revenue, when you remove your cost and everything, that's when you find out that if you're actually making profit, right? And compared to, we found out in the data that compared to other categories, the phone that they sell, they spend a lot of money on advertisement. So when you check the amounts, the profit they're actually really making, they're not really making much. So that's one thing a data analyst does. Yeah, it looks at your data. What insight can we get from this data? How can we optimize our processes, right? How can we optimize our products? So that's what they basically do. They explore the data, they create visualizations and dashboards. Yes, so for those, you have people in your organization that don't have any idea. So they will love to see something that tells them, no, they don't want to see numbers. They don't want to see your graphs. They don't want to see your code. They just want to see, oh, in a diagram, this is what is really happening. So they create visualizations and dashboards, and they just basically generate insights from data that would help drive growth in the business. So let's take, for example, now, most startups, they when they start out, there's this, they have the feeling that, yes, this particular idea they have can really solve this problem. But most times when you take your solution to the market, right, you use data to find out that, is this problem I think I want to solve, is it really solving that problem? So how do we look at that? That's where you see on social media platform, you can actually see like maybe a poll being thrown out. You see, okay, some companies will ask you. I remember, yes, my Excel just I think on the Twitter page, they said they asked people, okay, what future do you think that if Excel had, it would have been wonderful? People started bringing up their opinions. So, but by looking at that, by the time they analyze that data, you'll find out that they will actually get features that they really think that people really need. Because before now, I remember when I was in school, I used to wish I can picture search something. Like there was a day I couldn't, I wanted to search something online. I couldn't, I don't know the name. I didn't know the name of what I wanted to search. Well, I wish I could picture search. And now people are actually picture searching, right? So they throw out polls, they throw out forms. Okay, what do you think? Even YouTubers do that a lot. They will tell you, okay, if you're interested in any other topic, please leave a comment in this. So they're actually gathering data. So that's what analysts will look at, that data, and bring insights that is in the long run going to help your business grow. So what tools does data analysts use? They actually use SQL, they use Python, they use SQL to just generally retrieve data, get data from database, write codes to get data from database. So they use Python to, well, I basically think that as a data analyst, if you start out with Excel, next you can look at Power BI to create wonderful. Then let's say Python, right? Well, if you start out with Excel can basically do everything. Well, sometimes why you see that maybe on job search, people job, let's say a role that they're looking for a data analyst, why you see multiple tools, that some of these tools actually have their pros and cons, right? So it will be easier for you. Like let's take, for example, Excel. I think Excel can only accommodate 1,000,000 cells, 1,000,000 rows actually. So if you're looking at exploring a large amount of data, right? Python would be better for you. Now, Excel can do what Python can do, but then Python is more vast and can accommodate more data. So if there's a limited amount that Excel can take, so that's actually the pros and cons of each of these database. So when you use you can use Python for a bigger or a larger data set. And well, basically, if you're good in Excel, if you're good in Power BI, I think most entry level jobs, roles actually, yes, then let's say SQL, because you will need to retrieve data from a database, right? So you're good. But then if you want to add Python to it, yeah, you're fine. So those are the tools that I would say a data analyst would need. So we're going to a data scientist, yeah. So basically, people usually confuse data science with data scientists with data analysts. So basically, it's just like a progression, right? So you're just like going to primary school. From primary school, you graduate to secondary school. From secondary school, you graduate to university. So data analyst is usually like the junior brother of data science, right? So in data science now, you actually will need a background in statistics, mathematics, because now we are going beyond just looking at data to get insights, right? Now we're not going to predicting. We're going to predicting. So a data scientist, they basically do all what a data analyst do, but they do more in the sense that they predict and forecast. What do I mean by predicting and forecasting? What I mean is, okay, let's take, for example, I'll use the very common example, which is let's say your Netflix. Now, most of you must have at one time or the other use a Netflix account, but you would actually understand what I mean. So let's assume today you watch let's say science fiction film now, and the next time you go to your Netflix account, you will see something like Netflix suggesting that based on your previous watch history or something like that, they would, even YouTube does that a lot. So they would bring out maybe more science fiction films that they think you'd be interested in based on what you've watched before. So it's something like that. So they've looked at, okay, or yes, I spoke to someone today. So I think basically most organizations, I spoke to someone today about data. So the person was trying to recharge his phone for data, was trying to recharge, and then person was like, oh, I don't really have, like, I don't want to do much. This is someone that normally does like a 10K or a 15K month subscription, and he was like, I don't really want to do much, I just want to do like 3K. And he's looking for a very good price, like a good price. So I was like, okay, why not try this code? They will actually help you get a discount. But I think when he tried it, what happened? He found out that they were suggesting for him that, okay, try what I think was 10K for 80 gig. And he was like, that why now? I was not like, oh, how much do you normally recharge? It was like 10 to 15K. I said, yes, they've actually looked at what you normally recharge in a month, and they now felt that, okay, because this is actually data for me. So they felt that, okay, so if this is the range you usually recharge, so this you could actually afford the 10K. So likewise for me too. So most companies, I would say, they look at what are you doing. Even in the digital marketing guys do that, right? They look at key search words, and okay, even to they look at key search words, right? They look at what are people searching online to. So they're actually trying to forecast how they can use that to help themselves. But let's take, for example, the more popular one is your WHO. When they come today, let's say they will now tell you in 2030, the population of Nigeria is going to increase by this. So they're trying to forecast, right? They're trying to predict. And how do they do that? They look at past data and try to look at past data, look at the trends and try to forecast the future from what is actually happening now. So that's basically what a data scientist does. That's what they basically do. And it's really applicable to like all fields, like even in medicine, in different field. Let's take, for example, the medical field now. So they will train like a model or an algorithm to take in a particular data. And so when that's when you see basically where they use that a lot is actually in all this x-rays and everything. So when they do a test for you and the result is out, right? There's a way they feed the model that it's more like picture imaging, right? It's more like imaging. When they see the picture, it's able to detect that, oh, does this person have a tumor in the brain? So they've actually fed that model. So that's what a data scientist does. They basically do everything that a data analyst does, and they actually add more by doing prediction and forecasting. So for you to be a data scientist, it has gone beyond just basically using your tools like your Power BI. Now you have to have a strong background in statistics, because you're going to be doing a lot. You're going to be doing regression analysis. You're going to be doing a lot that has to do with mathematics, because you're trying to look into data and find out factors that even the business didn't know that it was actually important. So it's you must have a really strong background in stats. So the tools they actually use is Python for common data science stacks. They use Python. So and libraries they actually use in Python is usually like pandas, your tidyverse. Some of them use PyTorch, yes, and Java, Hadoop, machine learning. So that's basically the tools they use. So you have your machine learning guys, right? Yes. So they are like the boss. Those guys are really at the top. So it's basically from data science analyst to data scientists to machine learning. So they are strongly on prediction. They're strongly on prediction. They go into deep learning and the rest. So they deal more with prediction. Like they deal more with prediction. So where you have take for example now when I don't know, most of you will notice that Apple is always bringing out a new product, right? So most of what they do is that they look at their customer information, they look at their details, they try to use that to bring out design products that their customers will be interested in. So those are what this is what actually machine learning scientists do. They do basically on prediction. So the market in business is actually very dynamic. So the market can be changing today. So they look at, okay, what is actually going to happen in the future, and try to maximize the opportunities before even other people jump on it. So that's what machine learning scientists do. The tools they actually need, they need Python and R to create predictive models. They need Hadoop, they need Java, they need machine learning, oriented programming. They need libraries in Python like TensorFlow, PyTorch to run powerful deep learning algorithms. Yeah. Okay. So data analysis or basically it cuts across different fields actually. A lot. It's used in I would say it's used in every field. So I listened to the lady that actually did the UI UX, and she was talking about how do you she did research. Now all that is even data without, in fact, before you can say, okay, yes, I want to do market research, actually that's data, right? Because you want to find out what from the past. You want to, I heard her saying something like you have to go and look at what, like your senior brother, let's say you want to design an app for a particular company now, and you know, most times there's usually somebody who has done something, so you need to go and do research and see, okay, what have they not done well, what can you give better and everything. So it's more like research, and for you to do that you actually need data. So data is cuts across different fields, from medicine to business. In fact, in business, no business can thrive without data. So before when you launch out a product, right? So I was telling a friend of mine that sometimes you notice that maybe a particular company now, they have different products, and they launch out a new product and they're excited about the product, right? But 6 months down the line, they stop producing that product. Or 6 months down the line, you find out that you don't find it in any market again. You go to the market and ask, oh, what of this? And they were like, they market again. So basically, what must have happened will be that, okay, maybe when they release the product and they find out that people are not really buying it the way they want to, and maybe the cost of their production and what they're actually making it doesn't make sense. So if you're entering into business where you're not actually making money, so why are you doing business? So you find out that it's either they reduce the way they produce that, or they actually close that brand. So every business needs data. When you want to talk about startups, they actually need data, because most of what startups do is that when they release an MVP, they look at how people interact with it in the market. They get that data, they work on it, they iterate on their idea and say, okay, oh, this is the way the market responded, right? So what can we do? Or maybe they've targeted the youth and they found out that, okay, it's not actually the youth that is buying their product. So, and they look, why? So they ask questions. Why is it that, okay, we think that it's actually the youth that's our market segment, and maybe adults are, or elderly people are buying it, right? So data is very important in business, very important. I can't emphasize that, because you hear people say, or people say, oh, I've been trying to apply for a loan for my business, and they said they can't give me because my books are not up to date. I don't have any financial record. Before any investor will invest in your business, first of all, they want to see what have you put into the business. What is your monthly revenue? What is your monthly profit, right? And because without that, you can't actually know if you're making profit in business. So data is very important. Like I kind of emphasize it in business, because aside the fact that it helps you to know where you really stand, it also helps you to segment your market. So you actually know and that's why some brands in Nigeria, or some brands actually are really doing well. So it helps you, once you know your markets and your market segments, you know, okay, where am I focusing on? If you notice Indomie now, every advert that Indomie brings out is always tending towards children. They try, because they know that it's not like adults don't eat this thing. It's not like adults don't eat Indomie, right? But they know that children are like their major customers. So anything to to the fact that they even do Indomie fan club. I was talking to a parent and she was like, that the money that Indomie people are collecting is too much. To the fact that they do Indomie, why did they Indomie fan club for children? They don't even do that for adults, but for children, because they know that, right? Children are actually their major markets. So it's very important in business. You cannot overemphasize data in business. It's very important. So another thing that I think data is actually very important is also for customer service. What do I mean by that? In the sense that it helps you to know what your customers like. What it helps you know who are your customers, what are they interested in. Because if you're producing something that your customers don't care about, then it means that only you will actually use that product, right? So it means that only you actually use that product, right? But it helps you to know who are really my customers, what are they interested in. It's just like someone, that's why I was use YouTube again. That's why if you've come across any YouTuber, they will tell you that, okay, it's better you make content that only that your followers will be interested. So if my followers are interested in let's say comedy now, and I go and start making content about fashion, they won't watch it because they are not interested in that. So it helps us to actually know who our customers are, what they like, and that also helps in designing products. It helps in designing a product. So when you know what your customers like and what they do not, or they're one of their pain points, you'll be able to design product that will actually solve that problem and actually bring profit to your company. So another thing I would say that data analysis can be used majorly in is in fraud detection. So data analysis is basically used in banks for fraud detection. It's used in different aspects, but I'm saying for fraud detection now, very important for them, because when you're drawing an unusual amount of money, all these things have. So if today I withdraw 5,000, there's always a record, right? Let's say I withdraw monthly, or even so everything I'm doing, actually, what I mean by that is everything I'm doing is actually recorded. So when there's an unusual trend, let's say today now, let's say I'm this kind of person that in a month I withdraw like maybe 60K from my account, right? And this week I withdraw like 5 million naira. Something I don't even do so it tells them that something is wrong. Well, I don't know any of you if you've gotten any message. Like I remember recently, I used to mostly I recharge from my bank, and so I got this, although it's not related to fraud, I got this, I think it was a week or so, I didn't really recharge, and they were like, UBA was like, oh, you've not bought airtime in a long while. So this is what data does. So they more like, they get, okay, if you buy data, buy credit today, they record it somewhere. If you do this, they record it somewhere. So if it's something that you do frequently and all of a sudden you don't do it for a while, they'll send you a prompt that okay, something is happening, or why didn't you do this, or you've not been doing this. And so what does that do for them? It helps them to it prevents customer churn, because if they realize that every week you usually buy so amount of data, and for 1 week you didn't buy it, so it helps them to reduce customer churn. What do I mean by that? It helps them to correct, or it helps them to not to so that their customers don't leave on time. Let me put it that way. So if I usually buy something and one week, 2 week, I don't buy again. They will like, bros, how far now? You've not purchased from us in a long time. So if it's like maybe you're really busy or you don't have time, you say, oh, okay, you quickly get like recently I've been taking a course online, and I usually do like a daily 1 hour daily, and for like 2 weeks I didn't go there. They send me an email that, oh, you've not been on the website for a long time, you've not listened, so do this. And so that's what this thing. So fraud detection, basically when, well, let's say you your monthly salary is like 100K, and so in a month you don't get past 200K entering your account, and all of a sudden like 100 million enters your account. So it tells them that something is wrong, something is happening. So they actually use it to detect fraud. And I've spoken about effective marketing in the sense that, so when they get data about their customers, they know how to effectively market them. So if I know my market segment is children, so I know so I won't just put any advert on my socials or put any advert. So I'll be targeted towards children. What do they like? How can I catch their attention? So it's data is used in basically everywhere. I've said it's used in health, it's actually used in business, like I said, everywhere. Data is very important. It's very important. So basically, that's what I can say data is used for. It's a lot. If we start talking about what data can be used for, I don't think we'll leave here today. So what are the basic salary of a data analyst in Nigeria? So for an entry level role, which is like from 0 to 1 year of experience, let's say 150 to 250K. So that's actually their salary is like 150 to 250,000. Then for mid role, usually like 300 to 400. So mid role should be like let's say some companies will take 2 years, but let's say three to 4 years. So it's like 300,000 to 400,000. Then your senior role should be from 450 to like 600,000. Your senior role should be like from 450 to like 600,000. And let's bear in mind that yes, data analysis is like let's say the it's like when you're in primary school. So if you decide that this is actually what I want to do, this is I really want to like grow in my career, then you can move to being a data scientist, then doing machine learning. And I know a lot of people who are currently working, staying in Nigeria, but are um, data analysts for companies outside the company. And trust me, this is actually a Nigerian price. So when it's outside the company, is actually outside the country, is actually lots more than this. So I would say that yes. So basically anybody can go into data analysis. It's not someone who has to be very good in numbers. I'm not saying not being good in numbers wouldn't help, but like I said, that if you can think and if you've never been cheated when trying to buy something, like collecting your change, you can actually be a data analyst because you do thinking every day. You actually do data analysis every day. So it's not a difficult thing. And for some ladies that, oh, it's not, it's usually a male dominated industry. No, I'm a lady, and yes, and I'm a data analyst. So it actually just takes dedication and consistency. And I think that anyone who wants to be a data analyst can do that. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ifunanya, for that amazing session. Thank you so much for taking time out to explain all of this to everyone on board tonight. If you have any question for Ifunanya before she leaves, kindly make use of the chat box, please. If you have any questions for Ifunanya, kindly make use of the chat box while we get ready for Olamide to come on board, to come talk to us as usual. But if you want to unmute yourself, you can also unmute yourself if you have any question for Ifunanya before we wrap it up tonight on today's session. No question? Okay, Ifunanya, thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Funke.
All right. Olamide, if you are there, kindly come on board, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Funke. Thank you, Funaya, for such an amazing time. I'm sure it was worth all of us time. So yes, please and please, our training is coming up very soon, and the tentative date is August 15, and we have amazing facilitators like Ifunanya who will come and will hold your hand through this journey, right? So if you know that this interests you, you would like to continue, I mean, why not just join in already? The train is already getting full and you don't want to miss out on this. Fanika, please, can you paste the link to the training form? So for the first 5 people who indicate interest tonight would be getting a 20% discount. So data analysis go for 150,000 naira. So it means that we are giving you 20% of this money, saying that you should use it to prepare towards the training, buy your data, and just come prepared. And I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of you and starting this journey with you all. Thank you so much, Funke. So Fanika, please paste the link to the training in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olamide. Like she said, we can't wait to have you on board. And kindly make use of the link on the chat in the chat box to register and join. Thank you to everyone that has joined since day one. And thank you to everyone that joined tonight as well. Thank you so much. And that's all for this info session. Watch out for another one coming up pretty soon, powered by Innkeeper. Remember to follow Innkeeper on all social media platforms. Fanika, please kindly drop the handles in the chat box. Or out, I'm going to call them out. On Instagram is innkeeper.work__. On Twitter is innkeeper.work. On LinkedIn is innkeeper.work as well. Thank you once again to everyone that joined and have a lovely weekend. Bye, guys.